You seriously need a Singapore food photographer if you are a restaurateur or a cookbook author in Singapore. A skilled food photographer can spell the success of your cookbook or your restaurant simply because they can present your food in a more tantalizing light. It is very important that you have one on retainer. Naturally, you may think that you have no need for a Singapore food photographer. Maybe you have budget constraints, or you simply think that with a camera and decent photography software, you can capture your own photographs. Anyone can take a snapshot, right? If that is how you consider the value of a professional Singapore food photographer, then you really have no idea of just how important these people are. You see, there is more to creating beautiful pictures of food than simply taking their snapshots. Food needs to be presented in a certain way so their pictures would stimulate hunger in anyone who looks at them. There is a reason why food photography is sometimes likened to pornography. Pictures of food are meant to arouse desire to eat in their viewer. How then do you go about hiring a Singapore food photographer? First of all, you should figure out just what you want the photographer you hire to do with your project, as well as the budget you can set for their services. If you want your cookbook or restaurant to gain a level of prestige, you should hire a well-known food photographer. You can get in touch with them through their studios or agents. Their work is expensive, of course, so you have to prepare to pay a good chunk of change for their services. You do not have to aspire to hiring a celebrity Singapore food photographer if you cannot afford their services. The services of an unknown but highly skilled food photographer should do in that case. You can ask among your relatives and friends if they are acquainted with such a photographer. You can also browse Instagram, Flickr, Photobucket, and other photo sharing sites to search for good food photographers. Freelancer sites and stock photography sites are great places to search too. It is very important that you take exceptional care in hiring a Singapore food photographer for your project. It does not matter if the time and the budget you have allotted for your project is limited or extensive. You simply do not want to work with a photographer who does not have an iota of professionalism in them. So, when you hire a food photographer, make them present to you their portfolio and references. Also ask them questions about their previous experience and the attitude they take towards their work. A written and duly signed contract specifying the work that needs to be done is handy too. You should never hesitate to hire a skilled food photographer if you are working on a cookbook or the promotional materials of a restaurant. The quality of the food portraits you will be using in these publications can spell their failure or success. Never settle for less than the best that your money will buy when it comes to hiring a Singapore food photographer.